Hi, welcome back. It's Two Moms, Too Much Coffee, and you have Tempest here, and we also have
Jhshell, hey guys.
Jhshell. How's your day today? I know you went back to work, so how's work been?
Yes, I went back. When did I go back? I like time flies. Last Monday, and everything's been good because I'm still home with Naya because my husband's on leave. So she's still home. We haven't had to do daycare or anything yet, so I'm still like able to breastfeed here and there during the day and get my snuggles, even though I'm super distracted with her here. But I got a promotion today.
You got a
So
promotion? That's so
yes. So
exciting.
that's
What does that
very, very
mean?
exciting. Literally, I'm the team lead of my team now. So
Oh,
I was just like part of the managers, the customer success manager, but now I'm team lead. So super exciting.
yes.
Also very cool, like coming back from leave and getting back and then being like, hey, we still love you and you still work hard. So yeah, super
Yeah.
exciting.
I mean, like that like never happens. Normally you get back and like you have nothing to do because they're like forgot about you and you have to prove your worth once again. But no, they're like, Jhshelle's awesome. Here's a promotion.
Yes.
Hopefully that comes with some sort of raise as well.
Yes, which is also great timing, being that Miss Girl here is expensive, and we start daycare next month. So, yeah, got a nice raise, so it's super exciting, and also it's just been good because they've actually been really good with like coming back from maternity leave. I didn't just have to like jump into client meetings. I've been able to slowly like ramp up, so I've just like been pretty much learning what I didn't know since I've been gone. So it's been pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds great. Well,
Yeah.
congrats. I love
Thank
that.
you. How's your week? How's your day?
My day, actually, my week's not been bad because Adam is home for spring break this week.
Mm.
And so that would means that I have help
Hi.
that I have help with Sequoia during the day. And not that she's like hard work or anything, but it's really nice that I could be like, hey, you go get her instead of
Yes.
me having to do every sleep and wake up. And we've been working on bottles. I don't know if you guys are following my I don't even know what to call it, my journey of bottles, but the lactation consultant came, immediately gave her a bottle. It was totally fine. So annoying. I was just
No.
like,
No.
like here's $200. Thanks. That
Wait,
she's
so
now
she
taking
just took
bottles and
it?
you did nothing. Yeah, of course. I would too. Like,
I love listening. She's like, Mom, don't talk about me. Don't tell my business.
right. But yeah, no, but yeah, it has been a really good week because, and on top of that, like I don't feel like I get to see Adam very much without Sequoia or without Abel right next to us, or we're completely exhausted because it's the end of the night. And so it's nice. So when Sequoia is sleeping, we have a little bit of alone time together, and we don't do anything fun, but it's
Yeah.
nice that we could like sit next to each other in the daylight without kids around.
In the daylight. Yes. Yes. I love that. That is nice. That's exciting. And I'm sure that feels good. Sequoia, she loves podcast time.
Like
It's her favorite
seriously,
time of the day.
just chatting away. All right. So we did Easter this past weekend, and I don't know if you've experienced it yet, but you probably will because your families all are in different locations. But we have had to designate holidays for each parent,
Mhm.
and that way they don't fight about, hey, why aren't you here on Christmas or why aren't you here on Thanksgiving? And Adam's family gets Easter. And every year we're like, Easter is at your house. We will be there Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because they're 2.5 hours away. But this was
Mm.
Sequoia's first road trip. And
Ah.
I was so nervous that she would be screaming the entire time. Funny jokes on me. It's actually Abel that was like crying most
No.
of the time. Like Sequoia, she slept a solid 2 hours of this trip. Abel slept for 20 minutes and then decided to dictate what we were listening to. When I didn't play what we were listening to, he would cry, make so much noise. And I was just like, dude, why aren't you sleeping? We went at his nap time. So that means he didn't get any sleep whatsoever. And he cried almost the whole time. Like, I wouldn't say cry, but he like fussed the
Yes.
entire
Yeah.
time. And he took off his shoes, threw his shoes, took off his socks, threw his
Not
socks.
able. You're lying.
Yes. Oh my
No,
goodness. I'm
not
like,
able. Not
dude, I
mine.
was like, you're about to be a tablet kid. I now see you're going to be a tablet kid because I am not going to listen to Spider-Man theme song for 2.5 hours like I did this time.
Oh, you were literally like, here, just have it at this point. No, that's, yeah.
Exactly.
I am glad that you bring up like the holiday thing though, because me and Nick are running into that now because we've always done the same holidays with the same families. Like we would do Thanksgiving with his family and then Christmas with my family. But now we have Naya. So now everyone's like, I want to spend Christmas with Naya and I want to spend Christmas with Naya and I want to see her and I want to see her. And so now we're mixing it up though, because Nick has spent every Christmas pretty much since we've been together with my family. But now that we have Naya, we're going to switch it up. And so we're doing Christmas with his family this year. And my family is actually going to his family. So we're going to spend it all
Oh,
as one big family, which
I
is
am
very
jealous.
new. Yeah. So, and then we'll probably still do like Thanksgiving here. But yeah, my mom's going to fly in. My sister's going to drive up and we're going to just all spend it with the gallegos. So super exciting. Yeah.
I need you guys to record this. I feel like it's going to be like a movie of some sort. I don't know if there's going to be any drama, but I would envision just some sort of drama that needs to be recorded having two families come
I
together.
honestly, I hope not, but I feel like it's going to be more me being the because everyone's going to want to hold Nia, and I'm going to be like, "Can I have my child?" I already like for Easter, I told Nick I was like, "Should we just put her in like the carrier so she's not being passed around like a football?" Because I had a lot of anxiety about that for Easter, a lot, and it was honestly fine. His family was great. Like they all, no one like reached or anything, but still, you know how that is. There's everyone wants to hold the baby and there were little people there. So she's congested now, but it's fine.
You're being way more calm about it than I would, that's for sure.
You haven't seen my Amazon order because I literally just ripped out the humidifier out the closet. Just ordered I don't know, it's like Frida Baby's like breathable drops. Gonna pop those in there. I ordered some saline spray. I literally, she woke up today and I was like, where did this come from? And then I remembered we were around little people. So
Yes.
Yeah, it's I guess just like a warm up for what might happen with daycare.
I mean, that I don't want to be the person, but that will happen.
You're trying not to say just
Trying
wait.
really
Yeah,
hard to be
it's
like, yeah,
okay.
just wait, because we'll do a whole episode on daycare and sicknesses and how to manage. At least it'll be spring-ish when she
Yeah.
starts, so that way, hopefully, that makes it a little better.
Yeah, hopefully. And I guess it's kind of a good segue into like what we're talking about today. But what I'm also really nervous about with her like getting sick in the future is me getting sick and then like that decreasing my supply if I have to take anything and then I don't want to take anything and like just like the stress of breastfeeding with that. I mean, obviously they say like your milk will help make them better, but isn't it common for your milk supply to drop if you are sick? Is that a common thing?
I I don't know if I experienced a supply drop from being sick.
Okay.
And I was pretty sick. Every time Abel got sick, I was like very sick.
Mhm.
Um, it probably does. I would get everything
Oh yeah,
affects the
because
breast.
you're
So probably.
overproducer too.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see. Hopefully
Yeah.
not, but yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the fun things about like breastfeeding, all of the
Mhm.
just like intricacies of it all, really
Yep.
and truly. Um,
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our subject today. We're going to go into all things feeding. So, breastfeeding, pumping, formula, the whole shebang. I have personally done all three. I don't know if you've done formula yet or not, but we definitely are fairly experienced now in the different types of feeding. So let's get into it a little bit.
Yeah, fun.
Uh, yeah, so let's start with so what did you think feeding was going to be like? How about let's start there, maybe expectations versus reality of it.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I thought it was gonna just be this like as soon as they latch, you're like bonding, and it just doesn't hurt. And, I just thought it would just be, I mean, luckily for us, we didn't have latch issues, which I've mentioned before. So we didn't have like that stress added to it, which unfortunately I know some women do go through that. But I did go through those first 2 weeks where it just was super painful. And that was just, I did not expect that. Like every time she latched, I was like, this hurts because I just like was not used to it. And I was like literally loading up on nipple creams and everything like that. But after that, we were good. We've been good. Um, but now I guess what I wasn't expecting was the the extra load that puts on mom of
Yeah.
just like it's always you always need to either be there or have a bottle prepared or have pumped. So like kind of like digging into that is like my husband right now, he's on his leave, right?
Mhm.
So I'm at home working from home, but I still want to like bond with her. I still want to breastfeed. I still kind of want to have that with her. But it's funny because when I was just on leave, it just was like me, 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 me. But
Yeah.
luckily for Nick, like with me breastfeeding, he gets a little bit more breaks because I like will take her and I'll breastfeed and I'll like give him a minute. And then like there'll be times where she'll do like a bottle. But even with that, I still have to go pump because I still have to like keep up with her eating, that 2 to 3 hours a day. So it's not like I'm like, oh, just take the bottle. It's good. I'll go on with my day. I'm still having to keep with a schedule. And I just like did not think about that when I'm pregnant. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to breastfeed. Like,
Mhm.
cool, easy. So like that's something that's very like I mean, it is hard. It is a literal full-time job. And then the anxiety, I wasn't expecting that either. Like I left the house yesterday just to go to a coffee shop and then I was like, "Oh my gosh. I need to get home soon because even though she has a bottle, like I need to pump because I don't want my supply to drop. And if I'm an hour late, like it's just like my brain is constantly going about my supply dropping is like I don't know. I know you were overproducer before with Abel, but I like is your experience different with Sequoia and that?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely. So Abel was in the NICU, and so I immediately
Mhm.
started pumping,
Yeah.
because in order for him to get out of the NICU, you have to like he has to be able to like eat something. I don't remember how much it was, but he had to like eat a significant amount to get out of the NICU, and so I had to pump because I wasn't able to breastfeed him. He was attached to quite a lot of cords,
Yeah.
and so in order to get out. I had to pump, so I ended up pumping, and then I think that made me have an oversupply, maybe because
Mm,
I just immediately was like, "Oh, let me pump," and then I got home from that, and I was pumping and breastfeeding, and like I guess I like to say that pumping and breastfeeding are like the same thing. Like I don't really like
mhm.
to say it's like different, but in
Yeah.
this instance, I'm just gonna refer to them as differently, even though I fully
Mhm.
believe if you are exclusively pumping, you
Your
are breastfeeding.
breastfeeding. Yes.
Um, but anyway, so the I was breastfeeding and then I was pumping and then breastfeeding and pumping, and I
Mm,
ended up just my boobs just made so much milk with Abel, so much, unnecessarily so. And now with Sequoia, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm strictly going to just do breastfeeding, and I am going to see how this goes with her just breastfeeding. And I don't know how much she's actually getting, which is what I really loved about pumping.
yeah.
And it her weight has been very slow, but she's still on like track, but it's been super slow, which makes me think that well, at the time it made me think like maybe she's not getting enough, and um I really don't know. She could still not be getting enough. I really don't know. I think she's fine. I think
Yeah.
actually um it's probably my like anxiety as well of like I want to make sure she's getting enough, but I think that our bodies are like just so cool and able to do all of this without us having to freak out about is she getting enough. I think our
Mm-hmm.
bodies will create enough if she, as long as she's eating and she's happy, is going to create enough and she's going to weigh as much as she weighs. It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh so all of that to say, it's definitely been a different experience because I did start pumping in order to do the bottles, and I was like pumping like 2 ounces. And I normally, if I pumped, it would be so much. Like
Mm-hmm.
a bad day for me would be like getting 5 ounces out of a boob. And so with Sequoia, now I'm pumping 2 ounces, and I was just like, oh no, this must be wrong. And so I've gotten to enough of a supply that I got into enough of supply that I was able to give her uh, pumped breast milk throughout the day in
Oh
a
yeah.
bottle instead of from my boobs, and she doesn't drink a lot. That's just kind of her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she doesn't drink a lot at a time. And so she's drinking every 2 hours, 2 ounces instead of 4 ounces every 4 hours.
Mm.
And so
Snacker.
yeah, so she's a snacker. And I think
Yeah.
that that's all that's different. So,
Yeah.
but now I'm a just enougher until till this weekend when I started pumping more. And now my boobs are doing about 3 or 4 ounces every time. And so I'm like, oh no, I gotta slow my roll because I don't
They're
want to have
literally,
an oversupply. I
they were
don't
like,
want
we were
it.
waiting for this. Yes.
Exactly.
Milk.
Exactly.
Milk to the
Yeah.
rescue. And now they're all
Um, but to go into kind of another thing about feeding that surprised me, I actually was very surprised at how much your milk is impacted if you don't drink or eat enough. So,
mm-hmm.
like, if you don't have enough water the next day, my supply is like super low.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't eat enough, same thing, where it's just like much lower.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really surprising. Is there anything surprising for you?
Yeah, the eating and drinking for sure. And that makes it just hard in general with trying to be in a calorie deficit because I'm ravenous. And then if I don't eat enough, then, I don't have enough milk. And then what else was surprising for me? Gosh, I just feel like motherhood is just all a big surprise all the time. Um, One of the things I didn't know, like, I guess it makes sense, but Naya, or like how babies react based off your flow. So my right breast, which didn't know this as well, I thought they would be equal. My right boob does not produce the same amount as left. She is a full on slacker. And Naya hates that boob. She gets on that thing and she's like, like she's like pushing me. She's like, but again, you have to like milk is like your milk supply is supply and demand. So I have to put her on that boob, but we that's like the least amount of time we do is on that boob because she gets so upset. So I just wasn't expecting her to like react that way, but I also wasn't expecting them to be so different. I thought they would produce the same amount. But it has been that way since pretty much my milk came in. It has not caught up with, no matter how much power pumping I've done on right, it has not popped up. So that was a surprise for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a slacker boob as well. It is my left boob,
Mm.
which I just had to quickly do in my head which one is left or right because I'm terrible at them. I'm like, oh
Like,
shoot,
how are you still bad at that? You
33
have
years old, no idea.
been bad at that literally since I've known you, like since I met you.
But yeah, left boob super slacker, but right boob she hates it because it goes so fast. So it's like she likes the left boob because it's a little slower than the other one. So
Right. It's like,
guess
I gotcha. I'm coming, girly. And Sequoia's like, I
exactly
can't breathe.
right. Yep.
That's funny.
So was there any like method that you were dead set on that has changed and or not?
I wouldn't really say like a method. I was like dead set on not giving bottles until like 4 to 6 weeks. And Naya she didn't have it when we were in the hospital. When we went to our first appointment. She was showing signs of jaundice. And so they like tested her blood. And then we had to go in like every 2 days. And when we went in the next 48 hours, her levels were pretty high. So because of that, we had to supplement every time she fed, every 2 hours around the clock. We had to give her 10 milliliters, 10 to 15 milliliters of my milk just to make sure she was getting at least that much. So then she was being able to pretty much excrete the bilirubin. I did not. I was so upset by that because I was so terrified that she was like going to start having latching difficulties because they talk about nipple confusion, which there's some theories that that's not even really a thing, but I was just terrified that she wasn't going to latch and it was going to ruin our whole entire experience. Luckily, Naya just likes to eat. So, girl, you're nosy. Naya just likes to eat. So we didn't have a problem. She was good with latching, but kind of the thing that you talked about last week was that if they don't have a bottle by 6 weeks, then it can cause latching difficulties. So, it's kind of like, yeah, I guess it was a good thing that that happened, but I definitely was thrown by that. And they had told us like, oh, you can give her formula and then that'll help even more. It'll make it quicker. But I didn't want to. I was like, I only want her to have my milk. So you're right. We haven't done formula yet. We haven't had to. I'm not against it, but we haven't had to. So that one definitely my threw off my plan a little bit there.
Yeah,
What about
I
you?
I am a proponent of the nipple confusion's not a thing. And then with Abel in the NICU, they gave him a pacifier immediately. He had a
Really?
pacifier in his mouth before I even got to meet him. Like immediately
Yeah.
pacifier. And then obviously he had to take a bottle for my pumped milk. And then once we got home, we did breastfeeding. He never had an issue.
Never had a problem.
Um, so I've always been like, I tried to give Sequoia a pacifier really early on. I just think she just doesn't like those silicone
Yeah.
pacifier nipples. I think that's just what it is because she didn't
She's
take
like, ugh.
pacifier and she does not like bottles and who knows. But anyway, I'm just saying, I don't believe nipple confusion, not a thing.
Yeah, and Naya takes pacifiers fine, and she did that early on. I think we started doing that because at that point we were like, oh, we've been giving her a bottle since day 5, like, so we
Yeah.
started doing pacifiers early. That's the same thing. They say wait 4 to 6, but she was fine taking it at 3 and kept taking my boobs. So we didn't have any problems with it, but it definitely did. For me being super type A and wanting things to go the way I want them to go, I was not happy when they were like, yeah, bottles. And I was like, excuse me, but we're good now.
Yep. But anything that I was dead set on, I everything went out the window because of how Abel was born, and then I didn't have any expectations with Sequoia. I was just like, I'll
Tempest.
breastfeed. I'll breastfeed if I breastfeed. It doesn't work. I'll formula. Like I was so like broken down from how Abel was born that I was like,
Yeah.
well, who knows? Who cares? We'll figure it out. So nothing I was dead set on, which is nice because that way you're able to adjust without feelings behind it. But so far, I mean, breastfeeding has worked really well for both kids, and I'm thankful for that because
Mhm.
formula is expensive AF. I
Yeah.
oh, I can't get over it. I'm like, I don't know how people afford to do formula from birth. I'm like, that is expensive.
Have you seen those like memes where it's like me buying not that you would care about this just because I know who you are, but me buying a $3,000 bag because I'm saving me and my husband money on formula, not buying formula. Have you seen those? I
No,
say that
but
you wouldn't care about
fair.
that because you're gonna buy that $3,000 bag anyway. If you just, you're like, it's my money if I want to spend it. But I always think that's funny because
That's
truly
funny.
we are saving so much money.
Truly, I mean, truly saving money. I can't even get over it. Like, to put it in perspective, if people don't know how much it costs, with Able formula, I did a soy-free goat milk
Mm,
formula. So it was like a little bit of like, I wouldn't call it fancier because I specifically had to do it because he had a dairy intolerance and
yeah.
a soy intolerance. Um, and so that was $54 and it lasted us 5 days. And we
What?
did that from 6 months until a year. 5 days,
No.
$54 a can. Like, and I am terrified to see what prices have gone up since then. I'm sure they have. I mean, inflation.
I can't even. My brain is like stopped computing. It's like
Yeah, exactly. So
loading,
she's
buffering.
that person's talking about $3,000 bag. I think it's a little more than that.
Oh my goodness. I feel like one of the hardest parts about breastfeeding because what does it say that you're supposed to be able to, you should breastfeed until they're 2 years old? That's the recommendation.
As you can. I
I'm
think
pretty
the
sure
one
it
is like
says
the requirement.
recommended that you should breastfeed until they are 2 years old. And then pediatricians are like, I read something where I think it was on a Reddit or something where she went to the pediatrician and they were like, she wanted to stop breastfeeding. And she was like, no, you need to do this until she's 2 years old or something like that. That's
Hmm.
crazy. It should be up to the
Yeah.
mom. Like breastfeeding is so hard. And then once you add in them going to daycare and things like that, and then you are pumping more, and then it's just like a whole nother ball game. So I'm right now like I'm happy. Of course I want us to be able to get to a year. I cannot say we're going to do 2 years. I don't think that is in the cards for me. But I'll be proud of myself for however far that we get. If I'm able to like have that milk supply, a year's the goal. But I mean, it's a lot of pressure to just like breastfeed until they're like 4. I'm like, to each its own, if that's what you want to do. But I think it shouldn't be society telling you that's what you want, like that's what you should do. Bless you, Sequoia, honey. Oh, that last one was fake.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. Uh, but yeah, I totally agree. I actually did get a little bit of pressure from my pediatrician when I told her I was like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna stop after sixth season," and she was like, "Um, I think maybe you should try to go just a little bit further than that if you can." Like she said it in the nicest way possible, but I just am like, my goal is to get her through the sixth season, which we did. Proud of myself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because it just takes such a toll on you. You are the sole, especially like with her not taking bottles at all. So I'm like the sole
Mm-hmm.
person feeding her, and
Yeah.
that's for like at this point for 3.5 months, and then like you want me to go until a year being the sole person? Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of pressure to put on just like one person, especially somebody that has another kid to take care of, also
Mm-hmm.
works. Like it's just a lot. And so I I definitely feel the guilt or not the guilt, the pressure from
Yeah.
like society that does it, but um I am also feel a little guilty that I'm like, oh, I want my body back, knowing that um, breast milk is super beneficial for her.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, is it, you know, am I just being selfish, not trying harder to continue breastfeeding her? Or is it like a mental health thing where I'm like, in order for me to be the best mom, I'm going to have to stop breastfeeding?
Mm-hmm.
It's a question that I still haven't figured out yet. I'm still
Yeah.
breastfeeding, but I certainly think it's gonna be a question that I'm gonna have to figure out soon. Especially because I gave up dairy for her because she was having
Yeah.
some dairy issues like Abel did. And when Abel was having those issues, we just switched formulas because it was a little later on. With her, I'm like, it's so early.
Yeah.
I was going to have to stop doing dairy. So it's definitely a lot of things that go into like, should I continue breastfeeding or can I switch to formula? Um, I think my goal is 6 months, and then I'll probably end up switching to formula though.
So how's that been going with the milk, like switching out dairy? Has that been like a good switch? How
Yeah,
is it?
I mean it's been a blessing in disguise. I my allergist told me I was allergic to milk 2 years ago, and so
What? Tempest. I did not know that.
and so I've been, I told him I was like, well, I'm fine, and then he was like, I mean, if it doesn't bother you, then you could just keep going with it. And so I was like, okay. And now I'm just like, my body has I would say that I'm like severely less bloated. Like my body just really enjoys me not eating dairy, and so it's not surprising that my kids also don't like dairy. Um, I've been told that it's a white thing to be able to eat dairy. And so like every single person of color is lactose intolerant.
Kind of
Um,
funny. Yeah. Yeah.
and so, hey,
I
my
really
kids are
don't think
half
anyone
white.
is supposed to
So,
eat dairy, to be honest.
I
Pretty
mean,
sure
why
like
are we
our
eating
bodies are
that
just
cow's
not
milk?
meant to process it, but
I was told, I don't know if it's real or not. I don't fact check very often, but I was told that cows have to be pregnant in order to like produce milk. Like it's not like they have had a baby and then they have to feed it. It's like they're currently pregnant.
I
Now that
mean,
I say that, it still sounds wrong. So I'm not gonna cut this out. I'm just gonna let everybody know that I believe that until I just said it now. So how about somebody send me a DM? Let me know. Do cows have to currently be pregnant in order to produce milk? Because I heard that that's like how dairy farms work. It's like a
we
constant
literally
cycle
won't Google it. We
of
will just
making them
wait until
pregnant.
someone DMs.
Thanks. Let me know, guys. On that note, talking about cows, how is your body image while you're feeding your puppy?
Oh my God. I was like, where's she going with this one? How is your cow body? Um, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's going. I mean, day by day, man. It's even harder because I was like, I had this plan. I was like, okay, I work, like, I have to get up at 7 and to work at 8. So I'm going to start working out at 6 a.m., like outside and on the patio and go for walks. It is still pitch black at 6 a.m. And then today's America, where no one likes women. I'm not going outside when it's pitch black to go on a walk with headphones in my ear. I mean, not even like even with headphones on in my ear, I'm not doing that. So that ruined my plans a little bit. Um, my child is very not wanting to do this, participate in this, guys. Um, so I'm still like getting in there. I'm going on my walks after work. But now it's even harder because me and Nick we switched shifts. So like before I had her all day and then after work he would take her and then I would like go do a little something and but now we switch. So he has her all day and then after work I want to get my snuggles with her. So like I like kind of run to her and then I'm like, "Oh, I'll just work out with her." But then I just end up wanting to snuggle her the whole time. It's hard. It's so hard. But to answer your question, yeah, I do not feel great about my body image right now. But I tell myself every day, I created a freaking human and I created her cell by cell and it's okay. And I'm going to get there. And I'm only 3 months postpartum. So, like, it's okay. We're okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Yes, I would say that I am certainly it's a work in progress with my body image. I know that the last episode we talked about it a little bit. Um, I still, make sure I look at myself with kind eyes. And on the cow statement, I still feel like a cow because I'm, producing so much milk all the time.
Yeah.
So, it's a give and take. I am giving to my daughter, and that's great. And
Yes.
one day I will be able to focus on myself. So just gonna keep with the positivity there.
Yes. Yes, you are giving to her. And that's also what makes me just feel good, especially when I like, oh, there's nothing like pumping and then seeing the milk and then opening the fridge and seeing all that milk you produce. And you're like, hell yeah, like that. I did that. And I'm giving to my daughter. No one else can, I mean, I could get donation milk, but you know what I'm trying to say. No one
Yeah,
else can do what I can do for my daughter right now. So that's always such a
exactly.
such a good feeling. And seeing that freezer stash built, getting it stacked up. So
Yes, it
that's been
is
good.
definitely really nice to know that we can feed our kids and feed them well. What are your favorite products you're using now, as you know, pumping or breastfeeding, anything like that?
I use the baby Buddha pump, and I use wearable cups with that. So I think I talked about this before. Like I had the regular ones, and that was not it for me. So big fan of that one. They say that your output can be different with wearable cups. I feel like I supply, I mean, just enough for her, but I supply a good amount. So um, I can't really say that's true or false because I'm not comparing it to anything. So that for sure. When I was having nipple pain, like those first like 1 or 2 weeks, I was using the Earth Mama nipple butter. And I loved that because it was like a natural one. They had given me some like nipple butter at the hospital, but when Naya would latch, when I would use that one, she would literally like unlatch. Like she thought it was disgusting.
Oh,
The Earth Mama one, it's like a shea butter or something like that. So it doesn't like bother her when I have to use that. So that's a go-to for sure. I'm trying to think. I think those are like my main ones for just like breastfeeding and pumping. Oh, and I got like this bag off Amazon. We'll link it or show a picture or something. But it has like the top of it, you can put your pump and all your pump parts, and then the bottom of it, you can have like the cooler. I ended up getting that, but it took me a while to decide because I was in between like getting like the Mom Cozy cooler and the Sarah's chiller and all that stuff. But I didn't want to have to carry like my water bottle, her heavy chiller, and then also we have a bottle warmer. So that was just too many bottles. So we just have that bag and it's a cute little tan bag and we've used that every week. So those are definitely my top ones. What about you?
yeah. I don't think I have as many products as you do when it comes to the the pumping storage because I actually just went to Adam's Families for Easter, and that was like one of the first times I needed a solution to keep milk cold, and I just didn't have a good solution. So I'll have to get all those for you from you, so that way I can also use it. But I use the Spectra pump. I love it, the blue one, and I also have the pumpables, wearable pumpables, and those are great too. That I really like those. And then when it comes to bottles, I use the pigeon bottles, which are a godsend so far.
Oh, yes. Oh, and speaking about bottles, Miss Naya girl, she the other day, I can't even talk because I was so shook. The other day, she drank a 4 ounce bottle, and then Nick got done, and she had the audacity to start screaming like he's patting her back. She burps, keeps screaming. Gives her a pacifier, doesn't want it. She's screaming like she's so hungry. Had to give her another ounce and a half, and then she was happy after that. So she drank 5.5 ounces. Our bottles are small bottles. I'm like, girl, we are not ready to go buy new bottles right now. You were only 3 months. Chill out. I'm like, these are.
Yes.
Nick looked at the bottle and was like, these only go to 4 ounces. I was like, ma'am, please relax. Like, so
I'm
hopefully it was just a little growth spurt fluke.
Yeah, I am always blown away that we have. I mean, I think it's just like to make us spend more, but I don't even know why they offer the small bottles. Like
Yes,
the bulk of their life, they are in big bottles. So I don't even understand why they offer
definitely
the
for
small.
money. And we had like the
Yeah.
Dr. Brown's big ones, but we were using Philips Savage. So
Yeah. Well,
we might just try and see. Maybe like she'll be able to handle it more than when she was a little nugget. And
mhm.
since we have them, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. But yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to our unsolicited advice segment. This one is from Reddit, once again, the new parents subreddit. And the statement says, I've been I've had my two large dogs for 6 years. They've had lots of training, but they're high maintenance, lots of barking, shedding, and one has reactivity, and one of them just killed three baby bunnies in our yard, which I'm so sad about.
Not
Since
three
having
bunnies.
a since having a baby, I'm just stressed and exhausted trying to manage them. They were my world before, but now I mostly feel burdened, which I feel guilty about. I feel like I'm failing them. I am considering rehoming them, but I feel so guilty, like a terrible person. Has anyone else gone through this and come out on the other side? Did your feelings change? Did rehoming end up being the right decision? I just need to hear from other people who have been here.
Oh, that's a hard one, but a
You know,
good one.
I would rehome for less. I'm telling you, my two cats, which I don't have dogs, my two cats were like the bane of my existence when I first brought Abel home. I they would meow and try and wake well not I don't think it was on purpose, but they did. Um they'd be waking Abel up. Actually, my cat today, she meowed and woke me and Sequoia up. And I was just like, go outside. Leave me alone. And so if my dog was killing bunnies, I probably would rehome them. But yeah. So anyway, all that to say is my feelings on my animals completely changed. Like they certainly were they made me overstimulated. Like it's like the moment that I'm quiet and everybody's quiet, they start meowing. Oh, it was the worst. So I'm all for rehoming if that's what you want. I wouldn't say like set them outside, but like, give them to a family that can give them a lot of attention if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I we have a dog and a cat, Luna and Lola. And Luna has been, they're both been very overstimulating. But Luna has always been me and Nick's like other baby. Lola's just, cats. She doesn't really care about us. But Luna has always been our little baby. And she has been so overstimulating. Like, it'll literally, like, the times that I'm putting Naya down or feeding her, she'll go to the door to go out. And she's just like staring at me. And I'm like, I know you see me doing something. I cannot let you out. And Lola finds it the best time to meow is literally at nighttime when we have just put her down. And y'all don't know my cat, but Tempest was my cat, and that cat meows like she's screaming, and it's very loud. It's very frustrating. There are times where I literally, I'm like, I'm kicking you outside. But I don't think I could ever rehome them. I still love them so, so very much. I really do, but I do feel guilty because I don't spend as much time with like Luna. We used to like snuggle her a lot. So that's been like a really hard thing too, is we're trying to like include her more. So I don't know, but I don't think I could rehome them. I would just feel so sad. It would make me more sad, I think. So I don't
Hey,
know. I
that's
mean,
super valid. I mean, everybody thinks their pets are, part of their family, so I totally get it.
my friend Maddie had told me like before, she was like, just letting you know, your feelings for Luna, they're gonna change. And I was like, no, I'm gonna love her forever. And she's like, it changes. And I literally swear Anaya came out. And the next day I was like, girl, you is getting on my nerves. But it's okay. I love her to death. I love them to death. I guess my unsolicited advice would be like, yeah, if your dog is killing puppies, then yes, rehome
Bunnies,
for
not
sure.
puppies.
I mean, not puppies. I meant bunnies. And yes, probably rehome. I would probably rehome. But if they're like not, if you don't have reactive dogs or anything like that, then I would say keep trying. But any reactive dog, I think I would probably have to get rid of too.
Yeah,
It's hard,
it
but
is hard, but well, guess we'll you guys could do whatever you want with your pets. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. And don't forget that if you're in the thick of figuring it out, we see you and fed is best. That it should be the takeaway from today. Fed is best. Do what you need to do to survive motherhood because that is hard.
yes.
And thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Two Moms, Too Much Coffee. Don't forget to like and subscribe and feel free to leave us a review.